talk show host and stand-up comic, but has done something that I have tried to do for many years. I have wanted to write a book, Ed, and every time I try to write a book, I'm like, I start writing radio stories. I'm like, there are going to be 6 guys at a bar that want to hear radio stories, or worse, at a convention. And you have mastered the art of writing a book that is of interest to people who are not in radio.
Well, it's a gruesome assignment. By the way, great to be with you, Walter. Love joining you on the show.
Happy Thanksgiving.
And to you and your beautiful family, and you put many great pictures I admire. But it's an interesting thing that I have always been one of those 6 guys at the bar who wants to know more about vaudeville or radio or William B. Williams or something, from way back. And even when I was starting out, I just had a real interest, a proactive, organic interest in all of that. So I said, right, same thing I said, you cannot write this book for 5 people. And also, there's a darkness to when you write your story that everybody's waiting for. Whether you were up against this disastrous moment or this catastrophic development, and how you grind it and you impact on the whole Leave It to Beaver thing falls apart, wives, kids, addresses, dogs. The whole thing goes upside down. Somehow at the end, you're, paddling toward a light, and I loathe those stories. I'm sure the first beginning of the genre, but for me now I can't read that. So I wanted to write for the person that's in the break room visiting the station because their client is in there cutting a spot, and they have no idea where they are, what's going on, and I would love to chat them up in front of the refrigerator. So this book is 40 years, 40 stories that you could tell in the break room to somebody who knows nothing about radio. All of these highs, lows, ups and downs, wild. I'm an enthusiastic human being. So when things are great, I love that wave. And then when things are not great, navigating the rough waters are even more exhilarating. So there's an energy here that ties into the whole stand-up thing. Stand-up thing is very high energy on stage. This book is high energy when I read it. Yeah.
What's the name of the book? Yeah, what's the name of the book?
The title of the book is Hired Tongue, The Talk Radio Adventures of the Ed Tyll Show.
Now, Ed Tyll is a big star in Orlando, Florida. He's been in all the big cities. He's very successful and, may I say, highly respected talk show host. In your experience, what was the very best thing that happened to you in radio?
Phone call is always, the whole book is full of them. So with me, it's always a phone call, unexpected, that changes my address, my life, my everything. And this phone call came late August, and usually nothing is going on in late August in the business. But here it is, and this is in the book, the phone call. And the phone call is one of your legendary heroes of talk radio is thinking about retiring, always mentions you, and is going on vacation. How'd you like to sit in for him? An afternoon drive in the number one market in the world, your hometown. So your Aunt Addie and Uncle Louie and Aunt Norma and everybody can hear Edward. And, of course, I fell down to the floor, jumped on the flight. They sent me the whole thing. It's the old days. We get a package of paper with your itinerary. And I ran I got there, and the day before, so the show's going to be the whole week, Monday through Friday. So Sunday, I get a hold of everybody in my life from the playground, grammar school, everybody, and we're hanging out, and we can't believe I'm doing this, and this is what it's all come to, and my age is right, the millennium is right, everything is right. Wow. So I go do the show, and they fall in love with me. Sales guys, oh my God, the way you do a spot. News girl, oh my God, you went to that high school. Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, this is not happening, and it's only Monday. I got 5 days of this. So, of course, this is it. I'm playing for the Knicks now. I'm some kind of, jump shooter. Great, no one's ever heard of me, but I'm here. I'm from the Bronx. And 9/11 was the next day. Right? I mean, just,
Right.
the universe just said, I wanted to let you see what it was like. Did you feel it? Yes, I felt it. Did you do it? Yes, I did it. Did you use your best material? Yes, I did. But the world's going to, this guy bin Laden's really got a thing, and it's all happening on your day. And, nothing was ever the same. Station reorganized. So, all the kind of upheaval that is so profound that, you don't even contemplate the future. You just go, wow, I was there. That was what it was all about. Go ahead. Sorry.
I'm impressed that the host called you himself.
Yeah, right. Oh,
Not HR, not a secretary, not a general manager. I'm impressed with that.
Right. And
I also had the experience of being on that station. And right before I sat in that chair to calm me down,
right,
the board op talkbacks to me and he goes, remember, you're sitting in a really big chair.
Oh, there you go.
I'm like, oh, thanks. Thanks
That's
for telling me that.
Right,
the last thing I need to hear. Oh, my God.
I know.
Now, what was the worst? That was almost the best and the worst thing to happen to you. What was like the worst thing to happen to you in radio?
I'm trying to think now to get a good one. Right, because it's you and me. We've been around together for so long. So a really, really good one would be okay. Here we right. So I love all this. Listen, we're taking this station in LA in a whole different direction, and you're part of it. We were in town. We heard you, and we didn't even have our meeting because you're so great. You have to be on. I said, I'm there. Paperwork, sure. And the deal is going through, and I can't believe what's going on. And my old friend, whom I love, Larry Elder, along with another old friend of mine who I truly love, came on my show in 1984, so we're talking 40 years ago, Jesse Jackson. They gave me a heads up. Listen, tomorrow, we love you. But tomorrow we're going to the L.A. Times and saying you can't have that show because, Larry's black and Larry's conservative and, I'm liberal and, I'm black. And I'm like, you guys are black. Totally. I get it. I said, but, my contract and, the station, they said, well, listen, a lot of things are going to. So I got that and my stomach fell because I knew, when you're at that level, what could go well here? What could possibly go well? And, of course, the first show got cut in half. Then the new guy, the guys who thought I was fantastic, both left the same day. And I saw them at the elevator. I'm like, wow, they look really upset. And I found out that was they were leaving at that moment for good. And a new guy came in and said, well, listen, it's not your fault. No, don't worry about it. It's not your fault. I ran away. But,
all right, this is Ed Tyll, who's written a book called Hired Tongue. Ed Tyll, Tyll. You can buy his book, and you should buy his book, because it'll be a good time. And you're going to have a long vacation coming up soon. You're going to have the Christmas holiday. Get a new book. This is a good book that's the kind you can pick up and put down, and it has great stories in it. Ed Tyll, Tyll, Hired Tongue. I'm proud of you that you wrote a book. This is really great. Who was the best manager you ever worked for?
Well, this is really tough because there were some magical moments. The guy who managed that moment I just described to you, was so into it. I mean, we went on a car ride together. He showed me NYPD Blue, his shot here. I mean, we were just, so there was that management style that David had, David Bernstein. But there was incredible management from Bob Moore at well, man, 97.1. Thank you, KLSX. Yeah, KLSX. Bob Moore's time there. And, of course, I mean, you know, Mark Lass, as you and I talked about, was, it was like Jefferson, you need a writer? I got this guy, Thomas Jefferson. So when you're founding a thing, which you, I mean, that's, look, you're Steve Jobs, you're a Wozniak, I get it, you know, Musk and all these guys, you're in there, and everybody knew it. But now it's so interesting to be down the road a bit and see the depth of, what do you call it, mark that you have made with that whole thing of Real Radio. The whole idea of it, that you're like, go for it. So, wow, you know, that's...
I will leave you with this story. This is a Bob Moore story. Bob Moore is a flamboyant manager in Los Angeles, ran many radio stations in Los Angeles, a personality-driven manager. Right. I'm witnessing him conduct a sales meeting. He's at the front of the room conducting a sales meeting. And he says, all right, now you got to do this, and if you do this, and if none of that works, you get to do the best thing that a salesman gets to do. You lie. And I love Bob Moore.
That's it. Oh, man.
Hired tongue. Thank you very much for being on Sterling every damn Sunday.
It's the people of Walton